What's good, YouTube fam? It's your boy Tony, aka the Senator of Chaos and Controversy, and so basically, this video is me venting, me taking my aggression solely and fully out on YouTube. Okay, and it's in regards to this whole storm behind this jab. Okay, because you gotta be careful what you say, because the things that raise a concern for me, why I don't go along just to get along, and when people word things that gears towards you having this compliance, the sense of compliance, when they tell you this has to happen for these reasons. And in the beginning it's like, yeah, you have the choice to do this and you have the choice to do that, but when it becomes, I don't know, whereas the people's choice ain't so much well received because they don't agree with your choice, that they offer to say it is what it is to begin with, but in all reality what it is that they want you to conform, it becomes a problem. Now, we got this whole thing versus those that are vaccinated versus those who aren't vaccinated. Everybody's got this whole, and the thing is, it's not so much of the concerns and the legitimate validations that people had when it came to them being skeptical about, going forth and saying, yeah, we're going to take this, the three variations or 3 or 4 options that they have, with the Johnson & Johnson, the Pfizer, the Moderna, whatever. And I think there's another one. Okay? And it's mostly people's concerns with the trials and some of the effects, the side effects that came with, people taking it. And then you looked at, some of the information that they presented. YouTube, the information that you guys promote on certain videos that you guys post, whether it's from CNN, Fox, MSNBC, NBC, or whatever. We go and we look at these, like, information that is laid out before us. So if there wasn't so much conflicting information where, you go through trials and this and this and that, nothing is definite, nothing is for certain. I'm building up to a point. Okay? Building up to a point. Some of the concerns, especially within the black community, and I'm wondering, why is it that the black community is the community that steps back and say, you know what, government, when you say we're doing this and we're mandating this, or hey, if you choose to opt out and not take the vaccine, here's the repercussions. It's going to cost you your job. You can't travel. You're going to have to wear masks. And whatever else that they say that falls within the guidelines of restriction. So much for America, the land of the free. However, it's the home of the restricted. Okay. Now, the reason why there's no trust really, where people ain't just gonna go ahead and jump on the bandwagon of acceptance, is because we know what it's like to be a guinea pig. Okay? You look at the Tuskegee experiment of what these doctors did when it came to the black males. When they lied and said, oh, we're taking blood samples. Oh, we're just going to inject you with something that, I forgot what it was. But what it turned out to be is They infected the black men with syphilis intentionally, just so they could see what the adverse reaction was going to be. And just like what you see today, they had just to, I don't know, still trust, is that they had black nurses that was helping administer the shots. Oh, but Tony, that's in history. We're so much far advanced now. Well, if you're so much far advanced now, explain to me this. And this is gonna go towards the smart asses. When I made the comment under the Jennifer Aniston that she said, I'm just gonna unfriend people or not be friends with people or just distance myself from people who don't get vaccinated. Okay, well, that's your choice. Praises to you. But the motherfuckers in the comment section, damn, I tried my damnedest not to cuss. But when I said something about the nano, you know, when someone asked what was the makeup of the vaccine, and they start telling you, well, it's a coded this, that, and everything else. It bypassed the natural human defenses and stuff, and it's envelope around this with this nanotech, whatever. That's what they said. That's what the person presented in their explanation of what was in the vaccine and how it worked. But I got called stupid and uneducated because I basically said what was told to us based on the explanation of the makeup of the fucking vaccine. Okay, so that goes to answer the question to those stupid motherfuckers that want to add them rebuttals just to get me with the I'm just restating the information that was presented to us. Okay. Now, another thing. So the concern was the timeline in which this vaccine was created, briefly tested, and the emergency of having to get it out to Americans, right, and anybody else across the world. Now, there are a couple of red flags that came up. One is that when they tell you, if your job tells you you have to get vaccinated, otherwise, they could terminate you or tell you not to come to work until you are vaccinated. And if something happens to you, that's the unsettling part. If something were to happen to you, if you get the jab, they are not to be held accountable. Even those like Pfizer and all these other pharmaceutical companies and stuff like that push to get these different versions of the vaccine, which I don't know, Johnson & Johnson's batch was contaminated. Guinea pig. Anyway, so yeah, moving on. Yeah, but I don't pay attention, right? YouTube wants to censor people from having a discussion that we should be able to discuss, because they incorporated it into their community guidelines. Now, I can't tell people, and I wouldn't suggest telling people what choice to make. That's not my right to tell people what choice to make, whether they want to get the jab or whether they don't want to get the jab. But we can talk about it. But you got to talk about it carefully. You got to make sure you don't give out the wrong information, even though you're just reciting the information that they placed before you. But the concern was how the time frame in which they pushed this whatever out. A lot of people have legitimate concerns, and rightfully so, because you have cancer. They poison you with chemo. They have all these other diseases that they help with the symptoms, but they don't have a vaccine for. They don't have a cure for. We used to, back in the day, without all this modern technology that we are so advanced with, through trial and error, through, hear me out now, because I don't think people are going to receive this very well. Because the FDA brought this particular person to court when he said he cured AIDS. And he pointed this out, and he won his case, and that didn't set well. And he said it in one of his videos, and you can go look him up, because he said, ooh, his mom told him, they're going to come and they're going to come at you and they're going to get you, and be prepared, son, because you may not be here. Through the fact that he pointed that out and it came to light, and that's what ended up happening. Through the point that he made when it comes to the advancement in technology and medicine, it is through the practice of medicine. Practice of medicine. The person who I was referring to was Dr. Sebi. He tells you that your body cannot take anything foreign in it. Your body has a natural healing factor. In order to help with the natural healing factor, you have to find natural remedies. He has a book. He tells you about it. YouTube, you can't get me because you have videos that have him talking about in more depth of the practice of medicine. Here's another thing. Holistic doctors or people who have holistic practices that give their information and their research. If you knew anything about the medical field, and if you don't ask the right questions, you could be putting yourself at risk. Things that they don't want you to know. Things that they'll have YouTube censor you for, or any other platform, because they want you to remain ignorant. With the advancement of medicine and technology, and science, I guess, if you want to throw that into the damn equation. When this pandemic first hit, and it was, early 2020, we are now in late 2021. So not even within a year that we had to deal with the pandemic, the quarantine, the mandates, and all of that, right? And everybody was scrambling and stuff. Which I want people to understand something. If we had all these things that are like AIDS and all these diseases like HPV and cancer and anything else, you mean to tell me that it takes so much money in research and people's lack of intellect, with the assistance of all these advancements that we have put into place, you couldn't come up with a solution for AIDS or HIV and all the other stuff that I listed. But within less than a year, a pandemic hits with COVID. And now all of a sudden the think tanks got together and mass produced a vaccine for something that wasn't even in existence for a year, so they tell us. But for everything else, y'all sat on your fucking hands. Needed all this funding and needed all this research and shit. I think research is a poor fucking excuse to extort money to be funded for something that you guys already had the answer to. They don't want to go the natural route. That's why a lot of these holistic doctors are either leaving the country, end up missing, or mysteriously end up dying. You don't believe me? Look it up. I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, here's the link. Here's the go-to in the description box. No. What I'm gonna tell you is, here's some key words. Look up holistic doctors, holistic medicines, and stuff like that. Natural remedies. I mean, am I allowed to say natural and shit? Or should I deal with the generic version of these talking points? Something that isn't authentic. Now, here's a foreshadowing. You know how they got all these things now when you're watching TV and they got this, alert. If you or your loved ones have ever taken this or taken that or been exposed to this or been exposed to that, there is money now available to you due to the fact that we have filed a class action lawsuit, and you could be entitled to this amount of money. Act now to receive your compensation claim. We can laugh about it now. You can call me an idiot. You can say I'm drinking the Kool-Aid. You can say all this shit, but when that point in time comes, please save this video. And guess what? I'll be making a batch of Kool-Aid and I'll be serving it right back to you. Until next time, please like, share, and subscribe. Thumbs up, thumbs down. You know what I'm going to do. Peace.